Land, soil, and water resources. Land is the most important resource on earth as it encompasses every other resource that is important to humans. It serves as source for all other resources like minerals, forests, the life forms above and below the surface, that is plants and animals, different types of soil, surface water, rivers and lake, human settlements and population. Land resources. All human beings live on land and they use it for agriculture and various other purposes. If we talk about the percentage of the earth which is land, it's only about 30% of the total area of the earth's surface. And one third of the earth's total land area it is not suitable for living, or you can say that it is uninhabitable. The land surface is also not same everywhere. There are level plains, uplands or plateaus, hills and mountains at different locations. You know that different type of land it present the different type of resources. So that is the main reason why the places all places are not evenly populated. The areas which are extremely cold or they are having hot climate, they are very thinly populated, you can say sparsely populated. The population of these areas are very less. The fertility of the soil is also varies from one place to another. Like the Arctic areas, the deserts and high mountains are unfavorable for farming, and if we talk about the plains, most of the plains across the world are very fertile. Generally, we humans tend to live in those areas where the climate is moderate, the soil is fertile, and the land is in level. The plains have all the features, so they are the most populous areas in the world. Land use. Coming to the land use, it refers to the economic use of land. We can use the land as agriculture fields to cultivate the crops, or we can use it as industrial areas to establish the factories. How land is being utilized by humans, it is told by the pattern of land use. Basically, we use it for agriculture or settlements or urban developments like for making roads and establishing the industries. Land cover is the physical element that covers the land. Vegetation, buildings, or water, these are included in it. You can use a land or not. It also depends on some physical factors like the topography, the climate of the land, and what is the availability of water, and how the soil is, and which kind of minerals we can obtain from that particular land. If we talk about the percentile of the land usage, it is estimated that about 11% of the earth's surface is used for cultivation, that is for farming. Forest cover is it is about 28%, and while the pastures it account for 34%. If we talk about urban areas, it cover approximately 5% of it. The rest part of the land include the land that could be productive, but it has been used for economic purposes like built up structures, parks and gardens. Barren land and even wastelands, they are included in this category. It also varies from one part of the world to another, and also within a smaller area how land is being used. So the change in the pattern of the land use is also one of the main reasons for many processes of environmental change. Because of changing the pattern, how we are using the land, how we are utilizing it, it ultimately affects our environment, and it also influences the basic resources of land that has degraded vast amount of land and reduced our ability to produce enough food, and it is a major threat to rural livelihood in many developing countries. Classification of land. Land can be classified on the basis of ownership. There are two kinds of land: private land and community land. Private land is used and owned by a person or a group of people for personal use, where the community land is owned and used by the whole community like parks, roads, forests, etc. The community land are also called as common property resources. Changing pattern of land use. What is happening because of changing the pattern of land use? Land use has been changing over the years since the human population has been increasing at a rapid rate, so have their demand for the land is also increases. Agriculture, mining, deforestation, roads, industries and settlements are some of the changes which are being made by the humans so that they can use the land. Scientists estimated that between one third and one half of our land surface it has been modified by human activities. Because of using land to a great extent, we are not uh, doing good with our nature. So, because of that, land degradation happens when land is no longer suitable for agriculture. Some important reason, if we include in that why land degradation happens, it is because the population is being increased, and because of increasing the population, the the pressure on land is also increases because of the soil erosion, overgrazing by animals, excessive single cropping, and expansion of cities. Along with that, cutting down of trees on large scale is happening. Together, all of these are responsible for the removal of nutrients from the land and add to this natural disaster like floods and landslides. Since the land degradation is a major problem for us, so we need to increase the productivity of the land so that we need not to be worry about that in future whether we are going to get food to eat or not. So it is very expensive to reclaim that degradation land. It degraded as land might not be reclaimed at all if we don't do anything. So for stopping the deforestation thing, we are doing afforestation, in which it is an act for establishing a forest, especially on land which is where which is not previously forested. We can do land conservation. Land conservation is important. Land is important for the survival of humans. So it is the habitat for all life and treasure house of valuable minerals and soil which are important for the economic development of the world. So we can do the conservation of land like by afforestation, proper sewage disposal, plant crop rotation to preserve soil nutrients, and we allow the grass to grow, and appropriate disposal of hazardous industrial waste, and we can do the proper use of fertilizers and pesticides, and we can find the different ways to protect the ecological diversity. Degraded lands or wasteland, we can also be use it for cultivation for agriculture process with some direction, and we can take the help from government, and we can take as an individual. What we can do is that we should do not throw the garbage on land, and like soda cans, paper, or other waste like plastic bags, empty wrappers, and use aluminum foil. By cleaning our surrounding, we can clean our environment as well as we can do great care for conserving the land. Soil resources. The another resource is soil resource. It is the uppermost layer which covering the surface of the earth. If we talk about the soil, it consists of minerals, organic matter, and air and water. Minerals came from weathering of rocks, while organic matter consists of biological plants and organisms, both living and dead. It also has humus, which is partially decomposed organic matter. Water in the soil, it contains dissolved nutrients, and the air in it has high level of gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide. The right mix of organic matter and mineral make the soil fertile. That's it for today. Thank you.